Hey there, everybody. My name is Gold. Welcome back to the HCast. I'm once again joined by my two excellent co-hosts. Over here on my on my right, we got Matt. Uh,
Yeah, it's popping.
and down right here, we got the classic man himself, the old Twinkle Dinkle Berry. Say hello. I forgot he can't speak after the accident.
Okay. We haven't aged in years.
We haven't aged in years. We're
Well,
excited
for
to be
us.
back.
For you guys, we're
Oh,
consistent.
For you guys, it's been a week.
for you guys, it's been a week. Yeah.
And a day because there's no way this is going up. And
No, this is going up.
No. Is this going
We're
up
film-
at
we're filming this at 9:30. It's going up before midnight. So
no, it's
not
going
with my
up.
internet. It's not.
We can't miss another week. We can't miss another week.
yeah, I'm pissed. I'm
Can't miss
pissed.
another week.
Well, I'm actually, I think it's been less than a week because I think last week's episode went up on like Saturday.
Oh yeah, it did. I forgot
Yeah.
to upload it.
Saturday, Thursday, and then Friday. I mean, like we're hitting all the days.
We're like in the ballpark of the episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the
Oh,
we're
Well, we've certainly
I
got
think,
an
yeah.
episode for you today, fellas. Full of a
Something
little
like
One
we sure
Piece,
did.
a little ReZero, a little solo leveling, and we even have a fun little game segment that I have prepared for you.
we're
Uh-huh.
back to doing segments finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, we did a segment last time.
Anything
Uh,
other than fucking Jeopardy is good by me. Hold on, it's gonna mess up the thing a little bit. Okay, there we go.
While we're holding
That's
on here, I thought this was a funny little thing that happened. Earlier, I realized I got my so we got our little class rings here. I'm not going to show the other side because it says our high school on it, so I'm actually going to take it off.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not wearing a shirt that says our high school right now.
Oh yeah, I'm not wearing a shirt that says our high school right now either.
I'm always
But,
wearing shirts that
I
say
thought-
my high school. I'm doxxed constantly in the age gap.
Naturally. Oh, I am too. I mean. Yeah. See you now. So, on the class ring in the inside of it, it says my full name. My middle name is Joseph. For all you people who don't know, it's spelled Jopus. Jopus.
It's spelled Joe. It actually. Are you serious?
Let me see.
There's no way.
Let me make sure.
Because if it is,
No,
it's gotta go.
Jospa.
Classic
Joseph.
Jopus.
Joseph.
If it was spelled Jopus, that would have been funny as hell.
Uh,
Oh, man.
Which is funny. So, yeah,
Classic squid.
just a funny little thing. Yeah, we got some new bits for you too, everybody.
Yes.
come on in,
We have an
Squid,
edit-
bring
we-
in the bits.
We actually have an editor for the HCast now, Jonathan Squid. It's crazy.
Yeah. Jonathan
Squid,
He'll be
yeah,
taking
he's-
the episodes from here on out.
Yeah, he will be.
He,
The videos
he
will still
will.
remain unedited, so
No, but like he'll be the one to upload them.
he'll be
because
the
we
one to
can't do
not
it on
edit them.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to
And,
Squid.
hold on. I'm
shout out
doing-
to Squid. I mean, Squid, get in here.
Hey, Squid.
Hey,
Nah,
Squid.
he's shy. He's camera shy.
He's a little camera shy. You know, he's supposed to be right here next to me, but you know,
Yeah.
Look,
That's why I looked to my right or fucking left and asked him. He's next to you.
Squid. Hang on, that's the wall. Squid,
Hey.
get in here.
Hey, Squid.
Squid.
Why are you looking up? I'm down.
Stop
Widow, Squid's
fisting
up
me.
there.
What are you doing? What are you doing looking down?
Squid's up
Looking
there.
up?
Squid's up there.
How's Squid all the way up there? I can't see
Wait,
him
hold
very
on.
well.
Squid's trying to tell me something. He's saying 96 years in a week and 2 days
96
ago Herbert Hoover took me out of office. What? Squid, why do you need to tell me that?
What's
Hold
he? Hang on. If I can hear him correctly, I think he's saying something else. Can you transfer that down to me? Can't hear him well.
I think he's saying he's got an uncle named Harry or something.
Really?
Wait, hold on, one more thing.
Shocking.
Oh, he's telling me he's got a lab report due tomorrow. He's kind of
No.
taking it time.
No.
I mean,
I
I personally, I wouldn't know a lab report if it came and hit me in the face with this big fat slingus.
This is
but
big
I-
fan Slingus, of course.
I'm
I
glad we
wouldn't
got,
either because I
we
don't
got
know
Johnny
it.
Squid up there
Right?
to tell me.
Johnny
Thanks, Squid.
Squid's helping us out. Thanks, Squid. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All
All right.
Well,
What should we
that
begin
was a
with?
thing. I mean, I guess we'll start with little ReZero, I guess, because that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
Yeah,
go
I
ahead and give the uplifting opinions before Matt shares his?
Yeah, Matt, you're deaf. Mute him for this part.
Mute him.
Yeah.
I won't say anything
Mutiny.
until you guys give me the floor. I won't say anything until you give me permission. I won't speak.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Last couple
You
of
missed
episodes
a
have
few-
been quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
I'd
the
actually
Garf episode. I thought the Garf. Hey, you were supposed to speak
I
until we gave you
agreed
permission.
with you. I said they were good.
Good. You better agree with us.
You would know
Garf, the
agreement that you're the face of the
if you're the face of the big fat slingus.
Apparently he doesn't.
I thought the Garf fight was a little bit too short. I would have liked it if it was a little bit longer. But
I
the
thought it
Wilhelm
was
episode.
like just good enough because it wasn't the fight that I cared about much.
Yeah, me neither. I think it was probably the fight I least cared about. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Wilhelm and his Wilhelm episode was
beautiful.
phenomenal, top tier. Almost made me cry. Almost made Jacob cry. So
I'm over on the other side, buddy.
this, almost made Jacob cry.
There you go.
You're welcome. Probably almost made Squid cry when he watched
Squid
it.
is not caught up. Squid is not caught up.
Squid is caught up. Squid's caught up on
Squid
everything.
can't read. Squid can't read. Okay, yet he doesn't speak Japanese. What is he supposed to do?
Wait, he doesn't speak Japanese, so what is he saying then?
He's speaking Arabic.
But guys,
I heard he loves spaghetti.
Jacob.
he's multicultural.
Yeah, he's a little multicultural. Got many nationalities.
He's also a
That's
squid, so I mean,
yeah.
What more could you want?
What more could you want? But I very much enjoyed this thing. I don't. Did we cover the Regulus episode? The Regulus
No, I
episode
don't
is
think
probably
so.
in my game. The Regulus episode where Subaru, Amelia, and Reinhardt fought Regulus
It was quite
is
good.
like
Quite
one of my
good,
favorite
quite good.
episodes. It was phenomenal. I loved it.
Loved
It's
it from beginning to end. Thought it was beautiful.
It is my favorite ReZero episode, and it's probably in contention for my favorite episode of anime, which is a hot take. I understand it's a hot take, but it's like, I don't know. I was also just kind of in a good mood when I watched it, so that's probably also
Survivor was back then.
Survivor was back that day, so I was already in a good mood.
I mean, who doesn't love Survivor? As a man who's never seen a single episode of Survivor,
As
I
a-
gotta tell you, it's great.
Love Survivor.
It was the episode yesterday was phenomenal. I watched it earlier. It was very, very good. The Wilhelm, two bangers. The Wilhelm episode and this recent Survivor episode, two bangers. All right, so Jacob, do you have anything else to add on to ReZero before
No.
we give the floor to this schmuck?
All
All right, well,
another
man,
way.
well, I guess you can ruin the mood here.
So you guys are not gonna believe this, right? I told Jacob this a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He did give
That,
me a pre-warning on his opinions.
That I was ready because I told Andrew this. I would be as like honest as possible. I would find good things and I'd find bad things and I would say them. Like I would point everything out.
Fine, as long as you find good things too.
I didn't find anything bad, but I also didn't really find anything good. I just thought it was a solid set of episodes. That's kind of my take about it. And then I kind of had a little, I guess, epiphany in regards to the show. So first of all, this Regulus episode that Andrew likes, I like it. I'd probably give like an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's like my 5th favorite episode of the show or something. I think that's number 5. I think then it's the REM episode of season 1, like with the speech. Then the season 2 finale. Then the Garf episode in season 3, like the one at the beginning with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite episode is Subaru going to see his parents.
That is a very good episode. I really like that episode.
That is a very good.
And
Yeah.
it kind of made me realize that like season 3's been solid. Like I'm not a fan of the first episode. I remember we talked about that when it came out.
Yeah.
And I still stand by that. I think it was too long. But it made me think like as much as I hate on season 2, 2 of my favorite episodes are from season 2. And I think it's more of like I really like the beginning of season 2 because I think the idea is interesting. But I think my problem with it is like obviously, and I realize this is like kind of ironic, and I think it's just too repetitive. And I know that's kind of the point of the show where he's supposed to go back and do all this stuff again.
Yeah.
However, I think since it takes an entire like 30 episode season, and I don't think they change enough in each reset until the end, and like the story just doesn't progress. Like that middle part of season 2 is
Oh
just
yeah,
like where she just
it
keeps
was kind of a
losing, where
drag.
Amelia just keeps losing. Like that is such a bore in my opinion.
It is kind of a drag.
And I never
Uh,
cared for Amelia, so like this was like, and I don't care for Roswell either. So like, I mean, not that I don't care for Amelia. It's like she's just not one of my favorites. So
It's
watching
all
her
right.
do all this without getting any development for like 10 episodes is like, what am I doing? Um,
I
but I think the
fully
payoff's really
understand.
good.
Fully understand what you're going there. I think the problem that I have with Amelia mostly as like a character is that it's like she's just kind of boring most of the time. And then out of the few times that she actually does something like interesting, it's like in season 3, the most interesting thing that she does is fight Regulus, and that's a pretty good fight. I think it's pretty good. I think it actually showed
That's
that
the best. That
she's
is
actually
the
strong.
best Amelia's ever been in my opinion.
However,
I think it's the most interesting Amelia's ever been.
the thing is
I
that
beg to differ.
my
I beg to
opinion
differ. In fact,
my opinion of her is dragged down specifically by the part wherever she's like talking to Regulus at the wedding and is like, "No, I don't love you, and I don't. In fact, I don't even love Subaru, but I think I could eventually." That made me just deeply
yeah.
upset. I didn't appreciate that. I think
Well,
that was a bad take, frankly.
I like Rem so much more that I'm always gonna like Amelia less than that.
Right, and I think Rem's
here's
gonna
the
make a
thing.
comeback though soon.
So I've heard.
Here's the thing. I never really connected with Rem very well. I always really usually liked Amelia better, and I think it's the opposite because of that. Because I always kind of liked Amelia better, that kind of drags Rem down. Um, and it's also because Rem kind of has not done anything for the past 2.5 seasons. But
I
you know,
understand that. I think my and Jacob can maybe attest to this or disagree. I think the Subaru's connection to those two. So in regards to Amelia, she saved him like that one time at like the very beginning. Obviously, that's the inciting incident. And he just kind of becomes obsessed with her, and I didn't feel like it was really natural. It was just kind of like
Mhm.
forced to me.
It,
But like
I
with
agree
Rem,
there.
like she killed the guy, and then he got to the point where he considered running away with her, and then there was like an actual progression there, instead of it being like a one-sided. Like sometimes Subaru's love for Amelia seems like seems like the cartoon trope where it's like one guy who's head over heels for a girl who's never gonna love him, when that's supposed to be the main
I
focus,
get
and
that.
that's why it's just not as compelling to me sometimes.
Well, you see, that's another reason why I think that's something I would like to add on that as a little prediction here. A good old Pillsbury prediction. Shall we start a new segment? Pillsbury prediction. This will replace Count the Pedophiles, of course, since that hasn't been done since like episode 10.
Yeah,
Thank God.
Um,
for good reason.
Scrank God, man. Scrank God.
Scrank's
Little
giving.
Pillsbury prediction
It's
here.
nice. Good.
Thanksgiving, man. I don't think Amelia is ever going to love Subaru for the sole purpose of I think Subaru is going to die at the end of ReZero. I don't think he's going to live. Like, I don't think he's going to go back to reality. I don't think he's going to stay in that reality. I think he's going to die.
I think
That's
he's
my
gonna go
thing.
back to reality. That's my
I
2 cents.
I think I'd be
I think it
fine
could
with if
go
he
either
went
way.
back to
He's not
reality.
staying there, though.
I think if
I
he
would
went
Yeah,
be
back
he's
to
too.
not staying.
reality and then like I've seen one where it's like Amelia goes back with him and he's like showing Amelia to his parents, but I think it'd be
I've
See,
so interesting if
I,
it
I've
was
I,
just like
seen
she
well,
didn't at all. It was just him. He
I've
was
seen
like,
it. I've seen a theory where have you guys seen Amphibia?
yeah,
yeah,
But the first
part
two
of it.
seasons, Subaru's there, but then in this third season, Subaru brings the fellas over, and it's like,
right.
Yeah,
Amelia, Garf, Otto, and like the dinosaur hanging out in wherever
The
Subaru's from.
dinosaur.
The one
yeah.
he rides, I don't remember its name. Um,
Uh,
Oh, a
P
Scrank
something.
giggle.
I don't know.
yeah, but like no, and I was looking at my ranking, and I was like, I I still stand by everything I've said about ReZero, but like I like it more now. But the problem is like I wouldn't put it at most. I'd put it above Kaiju, which is one spot above where it is right now. Um, and that's not because and it's not anymore because I don't like it. It's more now just because I like those ones more. Um,
Which is fair.
like
I guess it's
but
fair.
but maybe I don't know. This season, like I was never a big Wilhelm guy. I think he's cool enough. I was never crazy into his character, but I bet the episode's good. You guys say it's really good, so I bet it's good.
I
So I'll
think
watch
even
that
if
today
you
or
don't
tomorrow.
like Wilhelm, I think this episode is like good
think so,
enough to
too.
where, because it's not like so centric around like actually Wilhelm, but more so his wife,
Mm.
and then by
And
by
I told him
what
it
I
was his
heard.
wife's backstory.
by
praxis.
proxy, you kind of
By
start to just
praxis.
you kind of start to like the episode more just because like, well, because
Yeah.
like there's a part in the episode, it's the part with the flowers for all my Andrews watching, and you see what you saw previously from his perspective, then from her perspective, and it's
Mhm.
like it was just so like a beautiful meeting of those two like times that it just I was just like, wow. I mean, it was so well done.
And then
Yeah.
so you're in the post credit scene kind of ruins it.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's a really nice thing, and then the post credit scene comes on, and Heinkel's like,
I don't like any of you.
"Fuck you to Reinhardt," and he's like,
I've
yeah.
never met a person I
Yeah.
hated more than you.
yeah.
I mean, my most anticipated fight is still yet to happen though. So
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
and Julius and Wolf Guy versus Gluttony.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that one's
That's
gonna be
my-
hype.
That was my
because
second most anticipated one because I wanted the
I
the
hate
Reinhardt
Julius with all
Subaru
my
and
heart.
Amelia versus Regulus.
you don't like. I love Julius.
You
I
don't
hate
like
him.
I
hate
love
him so
Julius.
much.
Really?
Yeah,
I
dislike
didn't
him with
like
all my
him
soul.
at the beginning of season. I didn't like him at the beginning of season 1, but then he grew on me so much when him and Subaru started to like
He's
kind of.
he's goated.
Nah, I think he's a prick.
Especially in the first episode
yeah.
of season
Like,
season 3. I was like, wow, this is their Julius has grown as a person so much because I feel like he was super egotistical at the beginning, and then he like now he's
He's
dog.
he's like I kind of see him like Kageyama. You know, he's like he was a real bitch, and now he's like still kind of a bitch, but like not as much. You know,
Don't compare it to my
That's fair.
glorious king Kageyama.
you a big Kageyama guy.
No, not really.
I guess he's more of a Tsukishima. I feel like
No,
because
I love
Tsukishima's a bigger asshole.
Tsukishima.
Tsukishima's a bigger.
They're,
Well, I
they're
have the
entirely
same,
different ways though.
but like I have the same level of hating those fellas to them potentially being my favorite character.
Yeah, no, I like Julius a lot.
Julius can burn.
He's
I don't
grown on me.
care.
He's great, so I'm looking forward to that fight.
And I mean, you gotta
And
love
then,
Wolf
like-
Guy. Ricardo, that's his name. His name's Ricardo.
Yeah, I'm
You
also
gotta
like I
love
don't know how
Ricardo.
I feel like the season's gonna end really anticlimactically. Like there's no like
Yeah.
main villain. Like maybe they
Well,
have
it
some like,
was-
crazy asshole.
Well, it was Regulus, but I don't know why, and
I
that's
don't know
why
why
I
they
don't
did it in
know-
the middle of the
Yeah.
season. That should have been the last
Well, they did
one.
it. It was the second fight that happened. That should
Yeah.
it should have been the last one, and that's why I thought there was gonna be so much build up to that fight, and it just happened in like 2 episodes.
Oh, by the way,
That would
Al
make sense,
Al
but,
has
like,
cemented
yeah.
himself as my favorite character just because of one line that he
That's-
said. Just because of
Al is
one
my
line that he
favorite
said.
too.
He said a fucking banger line.
I'll tell you, he's fighting Lust. That's his
Was it
fight.
in today's episode?
No.
Not today. It was
No.
technically yesterday. I think
Then
it was a
I've
week
heard
ago.
it.
Yesterday. And it wasn't. It was. You've seen it, Matt.
And he's sitting there and he's like Lust is like, let me think, what's your ideal woman? And then she makes basically
Priscilla.
Priscilla.
Thanks, Priscilla. Yeah.
And then she's like, why don't you love me? He's like, oh well, I don't love you or hate you. Actually, I lied. I
Actually,
think
I
you're
do hate
disgusting
you.
and I
Yeah.
hate you.
No, yeah,
that's so funny.
I
That made me laugh
remember
so
liking
much.
that when he said
And I
that.
was like, my goat, my goat.
That's
I love
I've,
Al. Al so
I've been
much.
on the Al bandwagon since season 1. Let me
No,
tell you. Like, I
the-
remember
I-
Al showed up and I texted Andrew. I was like, "Yeah, this Priscilla's night's real funny." And then
Yeah, and
we
then
didn't know his name, but then I looked it up and it's like Al. And we looked it up and apparently he's like he's like a major character in like the coming arcs.
In the next 3 arcs, he's
Um,
super important.
Well, because
I
he's
It's
I
such
hear he's like
MVP.
I hear
Well, 'cause
like
he's,
next
like-
arc he's like all right. He's like yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think
Okay.
we might all be on the same page.
yeah. I'm not gonna
Wait,
say it
what
just
did
in
Jacob
case
say?
the old viewers are. I mean, I guess I could. Spoiler warning.
Al's little scrunk. Well, does
Oh.
Andrew know? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's the thing Bream told us, right?
Yeah.
Brim, brim,
Yeah.
brim. Brim, brim, brim.
That's what he said.
Brim, brim, brim,
Oh.
brim, brim.
No, but Al's the goat. And like I hear next arc he's like kind of there. Like he's important, but he's not like as important as the other ones. But next arc Julius is important.
Hell yeah. There's a new character introduced
This
next
show
arc too.
sucks.
That's supposed to be
Yeah.
very important.
Well, it's like Julius and the cats, and I'm like fuck yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
like cats.
Well, Julius
The
is,
cats are good.
Julius is the goat. They work for Morgana too, so it's up.
They do work for Morgana.
I guess, yeah.
She's voiced by Morgana.
Yeah, Anastasia's voiced by Morgana.
That I guess that makes sense.
Because I watched like a lot of the episodes in dub, and I'm like, I can't not hear the cat.
It's just like he's gonna tell me I can't leave my house now.
It's too late. I have to go to bed. Oh no.
Yeah, Subaru, get back here. You're not going out there. We should
Classic
rest up
Patrick.
for tomorrow.
Classic Patrick.
Classic Patrick. Classic Patrick.
Well,
I don't know.
We talked about that for like 20 minutes.
yeah,
We
we
did.
are at 20 minutes exactly. Speaking of 20, there is more than 20 episodes in Solo Leveling. Let's
Hell
talk
yeah.
about it.
It's peak, man.
It
That
is.
was
No, it's so good.
Great change of subject. I really
It's
like
gonna
that.
go top 10.
Old
Once the
Brandon,
season's
old
out.
Brandon Black read all the manga, and he said that it was goated.
I told him
Black.
I called Jeff Survivor, which was
He called Jeff Survivor. And I thought that was really
yeah. And so Matt really likes season 1. I thought season 1 was like
Season
it
one's
was fine.
Season 1's good. Season 2 is better.
Season 2 is
for sure. But like, I
So,
really
as a
like
person
season 1 too.
as a person who didn't really like season 1, not didn't really like. I thought it was all right. Who thought season 1 was all right? Season 2 is worlds better than season 1. Season 2 is phenomenal. And one of the big things about that is I love like shows with a multitude of characters. I love shows where they have a bunch of different interesting characters with a bunch of different like backstories and stuff. And
I think
that's one of the reasons. Yeah, I don't, but it's fine.
I don't either.
And that's one reason why I didn't like season 1 so much, because it was just Ginu, and maybe a little bit of Gina, and Egress, sort of. So yeah, and then season 2, we got like Ian Sinclair and Christopher Sabat up here, and it's like, oh my god, not Sabat, Sabat.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got
and it's
Ian,
like,
you got
oh my
Sabat,
God,
you got the blonde woman.
the blonde woman, the
Oh,
black guy.
Chiyu. I know her name.
That's the
Oh, the
Pokemon. That's the I was gonna say,
No,
that's
she
the
got the same
Pokemon.
name as Pokemon. She got the same name as Pokemon. Go ahead. I'll Google it
but,
right
like,
now.
She's hype. I don't really like the
Hey, Squid, put the goldfish on screen.
yeah. Andrew, before I watched it, Andrew was like, I like how the Shadow guys all have personalities. And like, I kind of see that they have personalities, but I feel like they really like stopped doing that after like
Yeah,
3
they did.
episodes.
I was gonna say it's kind of sad.
See, look, I was so close. Let me
I'm a big the bear guy. He's my favorite.
see. Looks just like her.
Yeah, that's the woman we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying, Matt?
Like, I'm a big the bear guy. He's my favorite of the Shadows.
Mine's Egress, obviously. I love
Mine's
Egress.
probably Fang. I'm a big Fang guy. Or
Fang's the
Kiba,
bear.
I guess is his
That's
name.
Fang. I
No.
just call him the bear.
He's
Oh
not,
no,
he's
no,
not
no,
the
no.
bear. That's the
Thanks. That's
the
the guy.
red-
He's
the red
Tusk.
demon.
He's Tusk in the dub.
Tusk.
In the dub, he's
Tusk.
Tusk.
That's right, he's Tusk in the dub.
My
yeah.
bad. Sorry, I didn't know. I have seen it in the sub.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
He just got him, so I haven't seen him do anything.
Oh, he's broken.
I would assume.
He has done.
He's like
done
a
like.
no way.
So
He gives him
there's
like
only, there's
the
only
light orb,
two-
like the Pikachu item,
Yeah.
Pikachu item, yeah.
and then he just like, and he just like melts people.
Big
Naturally.
blue fire instead of red fire, so you know it's hotter, right? There's like two. There is only 2 shadows that are actually stronger than Genu. One of them's Egress, and the other one's Tusk. So those are the only 2 who are stronger than Genu. I
Nah,
don't think Bear is stronger than him now.
not anymore. Not these days.
Not these
Sadly.
days, no, but it's peak, man.
It is.
Hmm I like Axe Guy too. I think Axe Guy's kind of funny, and I thought it was really interesting that he like killed a human and made.
Oh, you're talking
Axe
about
Guy.
Iron?
Iron, yeah.
Iron.
That's Gax guy. I just call him a descriptive trait.
My
all right?
accent,
Like,
my
that's-
accent
that's-
comes
yeah.
out for very few words, and Iron is one of them.
Iron.
Iron is
Iron.
definitely one.
Iron.
I say
I saw-
oil correctly. I'm not one of them oil people.
Oil.
Com-
Oil.
complete
Oil.
sidetrack from Solo Leveling. Have you seen those videos on TikTok where it's like when I'm talking to my friends and the accent accidentally slips. But so it's like an Asian guy saying it or whatever. I saw one today where it was
like it's 5 minutes ago, not
yeah.
5 minutes ago, right before we started aging.
I saw one today where um it was a Chicago accent instead of like Asian or Mexican or whatever, and she slipped into the accent, and I didn't hear a difference in her dialect, which means like I never understood. Like I always like assumed that we had
I don't
an
know why I
accent. I
said
just
me
never
neither. I didn't see the video.
like I always assumed that we had an accent, and then we just couldn't hear it because we're so used to it.
Yeah.
But like it was crazy how I didn't understand the switch, and all the comments were like, "She sounds like she's from a different country." And I'm like, I mean, we just gotta emphasize her A's. Like it's I feel like Garachki,
we
you know.
Garachki, yeah.
The
Well,
French
it's
room?
also like
Kalachki,
shortening
Kalachki,
words.
French room.
Yeah, Garachki.
Hey, when you come into the French room, you need to take off your shoes.
See, I'm not a front. I don't say front room because I never said front room. And I mean that's like what it's supposed to be.
I don't know what is a front room.
I say living room.
Living room.
I say living room.
Well, what
It's
if that's
like
not? What if
like
that's not your
room.
front room though? What if that's like your back room?
It doesn't matter. You still call it front
room. You call
room.
it a front room, but like I never said that. I never said front room that turned into front room. So that's not a thing I say.
I either say living room or front room. I never said front room, and family room is if you say family room, geez.
No, it's family.
Yeah,
I don't really call it the living room either. It's just the room beyond the door. I just like it's my house. Is what it is.
Yeah,
that's the living room or front room.
Yeah,
and then you got the garage, and to unlock the garage, you got the garage key.
Yeah, the garage keys.
The dessert's the Kalach key.
The dessert's the Kalach key. Mrs. Garachki will take her garage keys and cook some kolachkis in her garage.
And then the big in the blankets, the kolache.
Yeah. Being from Chicago is also just having like a little bit of Polish and Italian and whatever you're saying too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because that's primarily the population of the city. Believe it or not, you're talking to two Polish Italians.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do we have accents, Jacob? When you first met us, did you pick up on the accent?
I would not. I only knew that you were American. I couldn't have told you where from.
Well, like when you first found out we were. Well, yeah. I mean, I was just gonna say, was there a different accent in there?
Not really.
No.
I mean,
we're not from like inner city though, so.
Well, yeah, we're not. We're on the old not.
I mean, I think it's the same way for me.
That's a good way to put. I didn't want to give away too much. You know.
I don't have.
I didn't want to
much
say
of an accent
the specific area. You know.
You have an accent. No, it's so clear when you talk to any member of your family.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Every time, it's like a switch flip.
Oh, every time it's a switch flip, and it's also like that's with a lot of people though. My mom works with a bunch of Hispanic people in her job, and whenever she's talking to one of them, she always kind of puts on a little bit of a Hispanic accent, and I'm like,
twang.
Well, right, because whenever you're talking to somebody, I like, at least for me, I always tend to like kind of copy how they're speaking, at least like a little bit.
Yeah.
You sound really southern right now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
wait, do I?
I don't know.
Sorry,
that was southern. You were like, I kind of change how I'm talking.
I kind of change how I'm talking to people. And
I apologize. No,
it's fine.
Allow me to fix
like that's
that
the first time I've heard it.
Well, I mean, because sometimes if I'm talking, I kind of like, I don't know. I'm just like, well, I'm thinking about it because I was thinking about talking to them, and I tend to like put on more of a southern accent. Yeah.
Well, like if Andrew and I talk, it'll be like we'll just what happens instead of like the accent coming out, we just get louder and more obnoxious, like more asshole.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. More asshole.
I think whenever I'm with y'all in person, I'll probably sound a lot more southern, like just normally, because I think typically whenever I'm like talking like this, I tend to always like kind of separate myself from that. But like in person, I think I do put it on more. Or not that I put it on more that I just take it off whenever I'm not.
You also around here you can get some like Minnesota Canadian accents like big.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Oh yeah. So
but I do like the old southern accent. I think it's fun.
Oh, I think the southern accent is one of the best accents. I think the southern accent is one of the best accents. This
only
might just
second,
be
only second to Scottish.
Italian too. I think Italian accent.
Here for the viewers, real quick. I was in the old Diddlefuck Spain a couple about a couple weeks ago now.
Why are you muted? Why is he muted?
Oh, he's got to talk to the old people.
Okay.
And whenever I talk to people, I sometimes, because they know people who speak English from the UK, and we're from
Mm.
not there, and so if I went up to somebody, I'm like, I have an idea. Let me try this. You got to hit him with the I tell y'all what. Yeah, going down. We come over. We come over there from Texas, and I tell you what, it was a nice place down there. It gets a little hot around the summer, but it keeps pretty cool during the winter. And if you raise the cattle just right, you can probably take them out to the ranch.
Yeah.
And you got
I was driving my tractor to school the other day.
I was riding my horse over to the school, and well, they asked questions. They were like, "So can y'all just shoot people?" I'm like, "Yes,
You
technically,
can do that. You can do that in Chicago too.
Legally.
Not legally.
not legally." We said
It happens.
anybody
It
who,
happens.
if anybody who you don't want to come onto your property comes onto your property, you can shoot them
Legally.
legally.
But
Legally.
not
And they were
not not
"What?
what?
No,
What?
You
dude."
come onto my property, I got me.
No,
All right.
whenever I talk,
Rifles in the back of my truck.
whenever I talk to an out of towner, I always emphasize the asshole. You know, I'll always be like,
Oh yeah.
they'll be like, oh, how do you get here? And I'm like, oh, you just you take the fucking train or whatever. Just like get off at Harlem. Just go somewhere.
I'll
man.
probably
I don't
talk more
know.
southern around people whenever I'm all in
There-
Chicago, because I don't know, I just tend to.
There were definitely out of towners when Matt and I went downtown for Pokemon Go Fest last year because they were asking how to get to Navy Pier. They were asking around, but I was in the vicinity
Mm-hmm.
and nobody was talking to them. And so they kind of came up and asked me, and I'm like, it's about a 3-hour walk, but you can take
And it
Lakeshore
was
Drive all the way down.
nowhere close to walk, but
It's about a 3-hour walk, but you can
Hmm.
take Lakeshore Drive all the way down there if you want. And they were like, okay, thanks. And they started walking away because I didn't really tell them it was a 3-hour walk. I just told them you could take Lakeshore Drive all the way down there.
And then the closest train stop is like
So-
an hour and a half from there.
I was gonna say the closest train stop is like a good.
It's Clark and Lake
Wait
is
a
not
bit.
close.
Yeah, it's like a 45-minute walk probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
be
good.
walking a lot when you come
I
up
walked
here.
12 miles in one day.
We'll be walking 24 here in New Chicago.
But
No.
Straight post walking another couple miles.
classic.
I hated it.
Yeah,
I will never go back to Europe ever again.
Yeah, we will-
Any of it.
we'll be-
It all
we'll be-
sucks. It's all terrible.
Of
We'll be
course.
walking a lot here.
No,
so
they all spoke
it'll be
Spanish,
good.
and it was like the customs people, and they're like, "Hola, donde está?" I was like,
I'm from
Don't you get-
Texas.
you-
I don't
I'm
know.
know
from
those
Texas.
Spanish?
I'm going to Madrid.
You gotta know
Ah.
Spanish. Come on.
I do actually.
I'm trying to get to
I
Diddlefuck.
did pick up on quite. I'm trying to take it to go down there to enjoy your time in Spain. Thank you kindly.
Then you realize they speak did you ever go up to anyone and started speaking Spanish until you realized that they speak English the whole time? Yeah.
But they didn't realize
Yeah.
I spoke English until I told them where I was from.
Oh.
They
Well,
thought
you
they
got-
thought
you
I
gotta-
just
you-
spoke Spanish.
What you got to do is
I guess you could pull it off.
Speak Spanish in the Southern accent.
Hola, tengo una
Hola.
pregunta. ¿Dónde está el supermercado?
Yeah, you say that like you're young Sheldon's dad. That's who I think of what you're saying. That's right now.
Oh, that's great.
Well, we are at 33 minutes, so I think we should transition over to our little Seggy Weggy game that we got going on.
Oh,
If
we
you
can
will.
transfer over to the Seggy Weggy. I'm so glad Seggy Weggy is caught on.
Oh, I use it with the old
Mr. Yo.
GPT Meister whenever I bring up segments I got.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Classic
that was of
J-Bone.
course our good old J Bones idea. So
Thanks, Mr. J.
thanks, Mr. J. Squid. Email Mr. J. Tell him we
He's been
appreciate
on
it.
the cast.
Yeah.
Well, shall I tell y'all all about this segment that I built for you?
Please
Something
explain it
like
to the
that.
castees.
Went to IMDb and I gathered up 20, count them, 20,
You're deep.
bad reviews, 1-star reviews for a bunch of anime that we've seen. I compiled all of those, and now our competitors are going to see who can get the most points by getting them right. Now, I don't know how difficult this is going to be. So I've given them 3 lifelines. They can ask for the genre of the anime. They can ask for how many seasons the anime has. Or they can ask for the first letter of the anime. That one's like a special one. If it starts getting too hard, then we'll put that one in there. The other 2 are like definitely going to be there.
I got a question.
Go for it.
Can I swap out one of my lifelines for phone a friend? Can I call up Brandon?
We'll see how it goes. Depending on how bad we are, we could maybe call up Brandon.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Phone a Brandon. We'll put that.
It's not a friend. It's no one else.
Brandon.
It's just Brandon.
It's just any Brandon
It's
though.
just
Any
Brandon.
Brandon you know.
It could be any Brandon.
We know exactly 2 Brandons,
I'm
so
calling Brandon Johnson. I don't know about you, but like
we know exactly 3 Brandons. We're calling the mayor of
That's
Chicago.
the mayor of Chicago.
That's the mayor of Chicago.
Gotcha. Now I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the way it's going to work is I'm going to roll this dice here to see who's going to go first. And then they're going to take turns. I'm going to read them a review. And if they get it wrong, the other person gets to take a guess. If they get it right, they get 1 point. Person with the most points at the end wins. And if they both have the same amount of points, the person with the most amount of lifelines left will win.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds phenomenal.
All right. Matt, you're 1
I'm
through
doubly
10.
anxious.
Andrew, you're 11 through 20.
Okay, are you keeping track of our points or are we?
I'll keep track of it, yeah.
Perfect.
That is a 17. So, Andrew, you'll be going
Oh, well.
first.
Hell yeah, I guess.
Alrighty. I'll roll the dice to see where we're going first. Okay.
Oh, we copyright. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Okay. Here we go. Your first one. The concept from the start was interesting to me because it's stupid. Fight blank with blank. It looked like a shit show I could enjoy, and I was right. But episode 19 made me reach my limit, and ultimately gave this show a 1 out of 10. Fan service. A part of anime that is avoidable yet inevitable, because ecchi is life. This show uses it in the worst way possible. There's times where the show is serious, battle, dialogue ongoing, then suddenly, unexpectedly, abruptly, and all other words related to it, a fan service scene appears.
Alright,
Wonder
so
what it
I
could
think
be.
I think this is the one that did not actually get a negative review. I don't know if you found a new one for it or something like that. I don't know, but is it Fire Force?
That is entirely correct.
Hell yeah.
Once you said fight blank with blank, I think
I was gonna say, once you said fight blank with blank, it was pretty obvious.
I felt like I couldn't leave that out, though. That's a pretty integral part of the review.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some stupid
It's also a completely fair review of Fire Force.
I'm gonna get some stupid ass one. It's gonna
I'm
just be
rolling
like
the
3
dice,
words
so
or whatever.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like
It's a
this
bad
shit
review.
fucking sucks and that's it.
It's a bad review of Shiko Noko 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 Koshtan-tan. It's gonna be
Are
like,
you ready for your review, Matt?
what is this shit?
Let's lay it on me.
It was very promising, but the writer stretched out too much. As a result, it kept repeating itself in terms of moral dilemmas of the characters, introducing new characters that really didn't offer anything new, but just experienced the same anguishes from a different point of view, only to be repeated again and again and again. Also, the development of certain characters was non-consistent. It also has it's also very bad to have a story where your protagonist is a total unlikable brat that only makes it thanks to the effort of others. Many of the characters were inexplicably idiotic in many situations, especially given the fact that they were under constant duress. Oh, here, there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more.
Okay.
All the messages were good, but ultimately are not enough to compensate for the anticlimactic ending and convoluted plot. It meant well, but ultimately tried too hard and missed its mark.
Oh.
Highly overrated.
Okay. So it's over.
I have an idea.
At first I thought
but-
it was ReZero. But then you said since it ended, it is not.
I think I have an idea. I don't know if it's a very good idea, but
I have an idea too. Because there's a few saying highly overrated makes me think it's something that's pretty highly rated.
Wow.
Trying
What
to
a
think
I
of
have
the
a
tech-
second. I have a second guess if Matt says the one that I'm thinking of too.
I'm gonna look up the definition of a word real quick.
I
Just
was
'cause I
gonna
wanna-
say I don't know what that last word meant.
Well, I think I know what duress means, but I just want to make sure.
Oh, it's like
Yeah,
under
I'm
like
also-
stress and
Under
constant
threat,
grief.
yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say, is it Attack on Titan?
You are correct. That is Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So, Andrew, shall I spin you a dice?
I would love to be spun a dice, if you will.
Alrighty, here we go. You know how every few months a new shonen generic cash grab anime comes along? This is on the bottom bracket of that. Only things going on for this show is its social media marketing. Each episode in a very dilapidating and cringe manner ends on a cliffhanger, as if that the writers know the viewers will lose interest very quickly if they don't make cliffhangers each episode. If that is the confidence that writers have in this, then you know a little more about the hyper groundbreaking story. The format is simple. I can't tell you the format because it'll give away the anime.
Yeah,
Somehow, through all of this, MC is abused and tortured. You know what happens at the end? Nothing! He just cries
I know what it
and
is.
begs to let him in on their little club, like watching an angsty Aaron Yeager, except it's too jarring when it's a 30-year-old man instead.
Yeah, so I also know it's Kaiju number 8, isn't it?
That is Kaiju number 8.
That's what I thought. Okay. I got it from the very I got it from.
I was gonna
from-
say, well, once
I
he
got
said
it
like
from, you know what this random shonen anime is, and I'm like, oh, it's Kaiju.
when he said that, I knew it was like Don Windbreaker or Kaiju, and then
Yeah.
he kept going because Kaiju's like Kaiju's like popular.
Windbreaker are shonens? I didn't even know that.
Don is Windbreaker might not be.
I don't think it is. All right. Well done, fellas. We're off to a pretty good start. I'm glad that it wasn't like insanely difficult.
Insanely
I have
difficult.
a question. What was the second lifeline again? The first one was like
It's
the
genre and then how many
Oh,
seasons
again,
it has.
say on. Genre, how many seasons, and then
first
letter.
And maybe
Phona
Phona Brandon.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe.
Phona Brandon. Maybe
Okay.
Phona Brandon.
Not that I want to use it. I just forgot what it was.
All right, Matt. I will now spin you a little dice. Let's see where we go. Okay. Here you go. I feel so bad for the MC. He gets abused by character like their personal servant. It doesn't make it any better when other characters start treating them the same way for reasons you'd have to watch the series for. This anime isn't even waifu bait. It's worse. It's a simp self-insert, the likes of which I've never seen / had to endure.
It's a Chainsaw Man.
No, it is not Chainsaw Man.
Wow, really?
Oh,
That's
okay.
a
Well,
good
that was
guess,
my
though.
guess too. That was my guess too. I'll be honest.
I think I know what it might be. though.
Shit.
Like
Oh,
that sounds exactly like Chainsaw Man.
It really
I
does.
was
Now that
gonna
you
say
say that,
that's
it really does.
very similar to Chainsaw Man. Once he said Chainsaw Man, I lost all hope, and I was like, oh, I guess it's not.
If he doesn't get it, is it just like off the table then?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I get to guess. I get a point if you guys
Yeah.
don't get it.
We
get
call
a point.
Brandon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we call
We
Brandon.
call Brandon's the third player.
Yeah. He's like the bench guy. You know, we bring him in. and get
Yeah,
him.
we
No,
bring him in.
old Johnny Squid gets a pick.
Hannah's like it's Brandon. I get Squid. All right, that's
the deal. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that.
I'm floored.
I am also floored. I have not a clue in my mind.
I'd say just like hazard a guess. Like I actually have no clue.
ReZero.
No. Would you like me to tell y'all?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
that would have been my second guess.
This is a review for My Dress Up Darling.
Really? Well, I see. Okay,
I wouldn't
here's
agree
what I was
with that
thinking.
because
I
he's
thought
not a
that was.
simp.
I wouldn't agree with that either.
He's
He's
not.
not a simp. And where are the other women that like none of that stuff happens to him. None of that stuff happens to him.
Also, it does
Literally,
start
yeah,
out.
literally
it does,
none of that happens at all.
it does start out.
None of
with
that
him.
happens to him at all.
They say at the beginning of, I feel so bad about the Gojo, and I was like, that's not proper grammar.
Mm.
That is not proper grammar.
Well.
Also, we found out the other day, funny little thing. Matt watched My Dress Up Darling from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I watched My Dress Up Darling from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Wow.
So.
And I watched it from 2 to 5. Or actually 9 to 5 actually.
Working 9 to 5.
9 to 5, working.
All right,
9
Andrew,
to
shall I
5.
squirt you a squiddle?
Yeah. I'd love to be Squirt to Squiddle.
Well, that's the one we've already done. Okay, here we go.
Wait, so I'm down, right? Like,
Yeah, you're down one.
Down. Yeah.
Watched a few episodes because I saw some GIFs and it seemed funny. It wasn't at all. The main character's voice is really annoying. Other characters are insufferable, and the story makes no sense. If a 12-year-old and a 4-year-old wrote an anime, it would be this. I never laughed throughout any of the episodes. The only thing it got me praying for was for the episode to end. One word to describe this anime is overhyped. I wish I could give it a 0 because I regret wasting my time watching it.
Wow.
There is absolutely no redeeming quality about this show, but hey, if you're a fan of Skibbity Toilet, you'll probably enjoy this.
Is it Shiko Noko 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 Koishantan?
I couldn't pull the wool over your eyes, Andrew. It is in fact
I
Shiko
wouldn't have
Noko
gotten
Noko
that.
Noko Koishtanta.
You wouldn't have
I
gotten
would
it?
not have gotten that, no.
Really? I laughed because the first sentence I heard, I was like, oh, it's Shiko Noko Noko Noko
Watched a few
Koishantan.
episodes. Terrible.
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
Fair
Well,
enough,
yeah,
I
that's
guess.
the only. I've watched one episode. I've watched one episode, man.
More than I've watched.
All right, Andrew.
Yeah.
Or Matt, I'm gonna squelch you a skronk now. Oh. Okay, let's see. I tried to watch this anime, but it was so boring and most of all very irritating. Even the plot is not good. The side characters are all bad, and most of oh, that's terrible grammar. Hold on, I gotta fix this. And most of all, the worst is the MC. They're useless, powerless, pathetic. It makes me angry. I thought he would grow stronger after a few episodes, so I waited, but no, and now I'm out of patience. They don't excel at anything. I tried my hardest to watch this series, but I just can't bear to watch it. At this moment, I'm releasing all my pent-up frustration and anger by writing this review. I recommend not to watch it. Waste of time and emotions. Now I'm going to go watch some comedy, lighthearted anime.
I have an idea.
I have an idea too. I think I know what it is.
That couldn't
It
couldn't have been more generic if it tried to be.
Yeah.
There's two that I'm between, but one of them I feel like happened, like they wouldn't have said part of that review if it had been. So is it ReZero?
You are correct. It is ReZero.
That's what I was gonna say.
My other
Was it the side characters thing?
No, my other thought was My Hero.
Mm.
Because they're like the worst is MC, and I know people hate Deku. But I was like, he gets powers and he excels pretty immediately.
Pretty steady.
So
yeah.
that couldn't be. I didn't think they would put that if it was that. So.
All right,
I
Andrew, it's your
didn't
turn.
think they'd put that because I think people would like Reinhardt, but I don't know. All right. And Amelia too, probably.
Oh God, this is the review of all reviews right here.
It's like
Hell yeah.
It is so misspelt and poorly written that I don't even know
Jacob, when we're done with this HCast video, I want to look through all these reviews.
Sure. Okay. Over the course, CORSE, of watching this anime, ANME, I have come without an E. There's no E in that come. To love this character. He is very cool. But what really bugs me is that he didn't become blank. Honestly, it's like he killed all those fantasy Arabs for nothing. The little princess was annoying. Blank looked cooler in the armor. Blank didn't do much.
Hold the phone. What? Back up a minute.
I think I know what it is. I
don't. Can you read that again for me, please?
Sure.
Can I hear it a second time? Thank you.
Over the course of watching this anime, I have come to love Blank. He is very cool. But what bugs me is that he didn't become the blank. Honestly, it's like he killed all those fantasy Arabs for nothing. The little princess was annoying. Blank looked cooler in the armor. Blank didn't do much.
Never mind. I think I don't know what it is now.
Remember, Andrew, you have lifelines if you need them.
I do have lifelines if I need them.
And you're up in points too.
Yeah, you're up. You
And
are
I'm
up
in
one.
point. Alright. Could I scrank a genre?
Sure.
For
Allow me to get you the exact genre.
I have an idea of what it is, but I also feel like if it's this, the person I feel like wrote the review wrong.
It is a
I'm trying to
shonen
think.
action adventure anime.
How specific and then like that narrows it down. I think I might have it.
How specific?
I'm thinking.
Clearly.
No, but I feel like there's some aspects that fit the thing that I think it is, but there's some that just don't. But this person
well,
doesn't seem very bright.
thinking. Well, that's what I was thinking too. I don't
They're
know.
probably like 8 years old, if that helps.
Was it? Okay, I guess I'll do this. Is it Full Metal Alchemist?
What I was gonna say.
It is Full Metal Alchemist.
It's
Really?
the Arab.
Okay.
It's the Arabs that got me.
Well, it was the Arabs and the armor that got me, but I was like,
Not
princess.
the
There's no
fantas-
princess.
Not the fantasy
Well,
Arabs.
Was the princess talking about Winry?
I don't know what if the
I
princess
think it was talking about
Winry or...
Longfon and
Oh.
yeah,
And
Greed.
who and what was it talking about? Like Ed didn't become the what?
Oh, it's talking about Roy Mustang, and they're mad he didn't become the Fuhrer.
Oh. Mm.
Ah.
See, I
Fuhrer
assumed it
is
was talking
spelled
about Ed Allen Winry.
F-U-E-R, by the way.
Of course. Fear is a
Sweet.
hard word, or like not a
Fear
hard
is a
word, but like a
hard
not a
They-
common
it's-
word.
They
Spelled-
put Roy
spelled
Mustang.
Fryer, right?
They didn't put an N. They put Roy Mustang.
Of course.
Well, it's spelled Fryer, right?
No.
No, that's
It's spelled
Fryer.
F-U. It's spelled
F-U-H.
F-U-H-U-E-R, right?
Yeah, fuck, I was not gonna get that.
All right. I think so. I don't know. I don't think you're actually wrong, but I don't know. Anyway,
There might not be a second U in there.
here we go, Matt. Let me.
There's an H. That's all I know. Well,
I
yeah, I
would've
assumed
gotten it.
I assumed it was talking about Ed Allen Winry, not
Well, yeah.
Mustang. But the Arabs, I knew the Arabs.
Well,
The
I was-
fantasy
yeah.
Arabs was a crazy poll.
I know
Alright.
that.
Well, it's because we established Squid speaks Arabic, so he told me.
Oh,
Squid speaks Arabic naturally. Yay! Wait a minute. You use your phone a friend now. You use your phone a friend.
I didn't even
Wait a
answer the
second.
question. I didn't even get the answer.
all right.
You didn't.
Here we
That's
go,
right.
Matt. Well, in simple terms, this is just a pre-teenish and generic animates series with dumb characters. Everything you see in the first chapters has been done before with much better results. The develop of the story and the characters are a mess. Most of the time is hard to even know what is going on. Psychology is non-existent in any of the characters. The monsters are, well, let's just say they are not there to scare the protagonists. No, they want something more, if you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to watch this cartoon with another person, and you don't want to watch it alone either.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Is it? There's two.
I know what it is.
There's two that I'm thinking.
Every time I'm thinking, I just go down the line of shows I know I've seen, and
Is it
so
Demon
eventually
Slayer?
I'll get to it.
What did you ask?
Is it Demon Slayer?
It is not Demon Slayer.
It's Don to Don, isn't it?
It is in fact Don, yes.
I don't. I was nowhere. I was never gonna guess down that. I'll be honest.
Well,
with you.
what got me was these monsters don't just want to kill them; they want more. And I was like, yeah, that's Don to Don.
I was not even. I will say I was never on Don to Don. So
You
I
could've-
maybe if I thought about it, I would have thought about
You
it.
could
But
have
like, it
lifed
was
the
just
line there, you know?
no. But I'm already
Could've
down. I'm
lifed
down
the
2
line.
points now. Like I can't use that because then I'll lose.
Well, that's assuming you tie. You tie, you die, you know?
Yeah, but like, if I can't use lifelines because like probably the best I can do is die because this kid just like knows things apparently.
All right, Andrew. Let's take you over
Sure.
to the next one on the old list. Maybe.
I got a lab report to do. But
Jacob, did we already get through the one you said that neither of us would get?
No.
No. Okay. He said there's one of them that he thinks neither of us are going to be able to get.
classic.
Here we go. Blown out of the water. If you're looking for an intelligent show, this one will be insulting. This anime has no connection to reality, no consistency. Nothing about it is interesting. It's just bad. I gave it many chances, but it kept on getting more and more horrible.
That's the most. That could be anything. It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are my other options? Lifelines?
You have
The second one?
the first letter, and you have the other one that I forgot just now for some reason. Oh, how many
Yeah,
seasons?
I don't know.
How long it is?
How many
How
seasons?
long it is.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the most. That could be anything. It's a step away from reality, right? So I'm assuming.
I know what it is.
I feel like it's not one that takes place in another reality. I feel like it's got to take place in
In
this
another
reality,
world, if you will.
if in another world. I think it's got to take place in this reality because then why would it be realistic at all anyway? So, is it Haikyuu?
No, it is not Haikyuu.
Okay.
Matt,
Okay.
I
he's
feel
used
like
he's used the lifeline. So
yeah, I know, but like then we're just gonna be like double tied.
yeah, well we'll figure it out when we get there. But just worry about winning right now.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You get
I
2
can use
turns
any
in a
of
row.
them, right?
Yeah, you can use any of them.
Yeah, all right. Give me the. I'll use one. I'll use the. How long is it?
Currently, it has. I'm pretty sure this is correct. Yes. Okay. Currently, it only has 2 seasons.
It's two.
Oh, okay.
You read the review again?
Yeah, sure. Blown out of water. If you're looking for an intelligent show, this one will be insulting. This anime has no connection to reality, no consistency. Nothing about it is interesting. It's just bad. I gave it many chances, but it kept on getting more and more horrible.
I don't know if you can answer this, so just like tell me no. Like just tell me you
Okay.
can't answer it. This is kind of going off the question I asked. Are the two? Are like is it 2 finished seasons?
How do you mean?
Like is it still airing?
It is
Or like
still
is
it's
it,
still airing, but the second
well like
season's
I'm saying like
finished.
second season. Is it JJK?
It is in fact Jujutsu Kaisen.
That was my
I-
second guess. That
That's
was my second
what
guess.
once you said no consistency the second time, that's when I was like, yeah, I think.
All right.
That was my second guess. I'll be honest.
Let's take you to Squelchville, Matt.
I'd love to be nowhere else.
Okay, here we go. I get it. The visuals are amazing, but that only means the studio is great and not the anime itself. Nothing new happened, just old shonen anime stuff. Everything that happens has already
Okay.
happened in greater and far superior anime like Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal, and Bleach. The power system, the character interactions, other things. If you're new to anime and like simple stories and cute characters, this might be your thing. But if you like an anime where big things happen and keep happening, you shouldn't waste your time on it. I watched this just to see what is so great about it and couldn't find anything. Truly mediocre.
Yeah, I totally think
we
I know
both
it.
know
I
what it is.
totally think I know what it is, but I don't want this to be another Chainsaw Man situation where it's like,
Just go for it.
oh,
man.
it's action. Is it Demon Slayer?
It is Demon Slayer.
I was gonna say. Yeah,
Okay,
I was. Yeah.
I
We both
I thought
kinda-
I knew
yeah.
it from the first line. I think we both did,
Yeah.
but
No,
like,
yeah, we both did.
I
Well, I
can't
was like, okay,
trust
well,
it.
I got another chance again.
I can't trust it after the Chainsaw Man one,
After the Chainsaw Man one,
or not even. What did that end up being? Oh, My Joseph Darling.
it was my Joseph Darling, which was my second guess after Chainsaw Man.
I
Surprisingly
would
a
never
good
guess
review
that.
for Chainsaw Man, though. All right.
Yeah, as bad as it was.
All right, so I've kind of closed the gap. I'm only down by one now.
Yep. Andrew,
Yep.
it's your time to shine. Here is your
It
next
is.
review. This is by far the most boring anime I ever saw. The story has an extremely slow pace. The fights are a drag. Literally, the fights are dragged by showing reactions of other people not involved by the fight. Sometimes an entire episode is wasted in a flashback. Literally not worth so much hype in your time. And plus, the animation is dull.
I have an idea. I don't know if it's a good one.
Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Sometimes you can't. You can't sit behind and let others. My soldiers do not back down when faced with the cruelties of this world.
Hey, rage,
Naturally.
man.
Why soldiers red?
I said
Is it One Piece?
advance, goddammit. It is not One
Is it One
Piece.
Piece? It's not.
That's
One
what I
Piece.
was gonna say. Holy shit. All right, can you repeat it?
Yeah, sure. This is by far the most boring anime I ever saw. The story has an extremely
It's
slow pace. The fights are just a drag. Literally, the fights are dragged by showing reactions of other people not involved in fight. And sometimes the entire episode is wasted in a flashback. Literally not worth so much hype and your time. And plus,
I
animation is
had
dull.
I had a second guess, and it's really I think it's a funny second guess.
I have a second guess too, or not a second guess. I have a guess because I was also gonna say One Piece.
Yeah.
It because like it was the whole episode one that made me think that. Um, I'm trying to think of shows that do that. Like Naruto kind of does that, but like I feel like he wouldn't put Naruto on here because you haven't
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen it.
Like the deer is one where like none of us have really seen it. So
God
But
love
like
the
it's so,
deer.
it's so goddamn obvious that like
um
I thought it
well
was.
and there's
Jacob finished season one. Jacob finished season one. Me and you, I've seen one episode, you've seen none.
I thought he dropped it. I thought he almost finished it, he just didn't.
I almost finished season one. I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay, wow. Okay,
I'm
close
like an
enough.
episode behind, I think.
There's one that I'm thinking of. I don't remember its animation that well. Is it Windbreaker?
It is not Windbreaker.
Yeah.
Can I say my other guess?
Go for it. Just for
My
fun.
other guess was Haikyuu. My other guess was Haikyuu
Oh.
because it showed a bunch of people
Okay, it's
doing
like
stuff.
a
Was
guess.
it correct?
No, that's not correct.
I feel like they wouldn't use fights if it was Haikyuu.
Well, they
I'm
wouldn't
not
use
gonna lie.
fights, but I also think Jacob would have purposely switched that because if it said games, that would have been so obvious that it was Haikyuu. So yeah,
This anime is one that was said. It is Naruto.
Really?
really.
Yeah.
I didn't think
How
you
the
would put it
fuck
because
would I
he.
would have gotten that?
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
why I
he would have
said.
never.
Was
That's
that
why I
the
said I
one-
don't think
he
was
either.
that the
That's
one
the
that you
one
said?
either of you are gonna
Yeah.
get.
Okay.
And look where we are. Neither of you got it.
Look, we are. Neither of us got it,
I'm
yeah.
pissed because I was there, you know.
Yeah.
All right. It's time, Matt.
What's the points at?
5-4.
5-4. Okay, so this is question 10. So after this will be this is like 12, right? Because we missed two. That was the second one we've both missed.
Okay.
Yep.
Here we go. This one's a doozy. This one made me die laughing when I first read it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
You ever watched one of those long, boring, and slow dramas in movies that always get Oscar nominations? Those stories could have been told in much less time. A story being told in more time than is necessary is treating you like an idiot and wasting your precious limited time alive. Also, have you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome? It's where you're stuck with something for so long, you end up liking it. Kind of the same reason why people love their families, their cities, their homes, their countries. Well, the other way
What?
people can like this series is due to Stockholm Syndrome. It's so boring that even the characters in it are bored and apathetic all the time. All the interesting things, like fighting, already happen. Also, characters are boring, uncreatively written, and annoying.
I feel like it's got to be One Piece.
Is that going to be your guess?
Let me think. I mean, what
Because I don't know if
else
that's what you're
would?
guessing.
What else is so long? Or like, what else would give you Stockholm syndrome? Yeah,
No,
I'm saying One Piece.
I was reading it, and then I said, "Have you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome?" Like, oh,
I'm saying One Piece. That is my final answer.
no, it is not One Piece. Unfortunately,
what it could
I doubt that Andrew will get this one. I feel like this
You
one's
got to
too
read that entire thing
too
again, buddy. I
unspecific.
did not do it.
I'm
Okay.
not telling him what I guessed. I got it
I
wrong.
heard you guessed One Piece. I
Oh,
heard you guessed One Piece.
Have you ever watched one of those very long, boring, and slow dramas in the movies that always get nominated for Oscars? Those stories could have been told in much less time. A story being told in more time than necessary is treating you like an idiot and wasting your time alive. Also, you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome? It's when you're stuck with something for so long you end up liking it. Kind of the same reason why people love their families, their cities, their homes, their countries. Well, the only way people can like this series is due to Stockholm Syndrome. It's so boring that even the characters in it are bored or apathetic all the time. All the interesting things like fighting already happened. Also, characters are boring, uncreatively written, and annoying.
I have a guess besides One Piece, but I don't know if it's right or not.
I have a,
And
I have
Well, you're
a
still a point
guess
ahead,
too.
so I mean, I guess it's.
I am still a point ahead.
And it is also your turn
Um,
next, so even if you get this wrong, it's like.
all right. Is it Frieren?
It is Freerun, yes.
I was
That's what
thinking
I
Spy
thought.
Family.
Well, now
No, I think
Matt.
people like Anya and Yor. Lloyd's boring, but the other two are cool.
Well, now Matt, you're officially 2 points behind again.
It's a spot I've been in before, you know. I'm used to it.
Here's the other thing, right? I was not going to guess One Piece because I thought it would be too obvious, and I was like, I wanted to shake things up a
Well,
bit.
like I don't like Frieren. I would never guess Frieren because it's not that long.
Well, yeah, that was the thing that threw me off a little bit because I thought Frieren, but I was also like, Frieren, because I also think there's plenty of characters to like in One Piece, too, and they're not all boring. Like
Yeah.
Garp is fucking hilarious. He's not boring. There's a
There's
bunch of
Frieren
stuff.
haters. I
You
guess.
ever
I don't
you ever
know.
watch the Oscars and they're like really long movies? You ever get locked in
Yeah.
someone's basement? That's what this anime is
Yeah.
like.
You
Yeah,
ever-
this,
you
this is the extra review. It's by the same person. They just kept the same
They
like
just kept
same
going.
thing going on.
It's all by the
Yeah.
same guy, and it's just
Yeah.
like you ever hated
Jokes
yourself.
on you. Jokes on you. Jacob wrote all these reviews. Like, these are all.
Yeah.
All right, here you
Was
go.
that the actual start of the review?
No.
Okay, good.
At the start, it had some potential, in my opinion. But then I saw that the main character is too strong. Everything in the world is on his side. It's obvious that he always wins, which makes the battles uninteresting. He should be a student with not that much power, but in the end of the battle, it turns out he saved the day while the others weren't able to. I don't get it. I would guess that people are giving it 10 stars because that's what they want. A story where the main character, who didn't even have enough power at the start, gets them by pure luck, and after this wins every single battle.
This. Okay. I gotta think about this one.
You gotta be
Can't believe
locked.
it's not
You gotta be
better.
locked in and cocked in, man.
I gotta be locked in and locked in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, I never did copyright school.
Did you know
Unfortunate.
96 years and 1 week ago Herbert Hoover took the oath of office?
The deadline was like February. It's the middle of March, so we have a permanent strike on the channel. I'm back.
Don't
Piece of
worry.
shit.
Next one will take it away.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I'll use
hazard guess.
I'll use no, yeah, I'm just gonna hazard a guess. I don't want to use the other lifeline yet. I'll hazard a guess. Solo leveling.
It is not solo leveling. Unfortunately so.
That's what
Well,
I
I
would
was
have
trying to think
said.
of overpowered characters, and I was thinking, okay, well,
Yeah.
Sun Jin Woo, but he's not a
Can you-
student, so I knew that was wrong.
Can you repeat it?
Yes. At the start, it had some potential, in my opinion. But then I saw that the main character is too strong. Everything in the world is on his side. It's obvious that he always wins, which makes the battles uninteresting. He should be a student with not that much power, but in the end of the battle, it turns out he saved the day while no one else was able to. I don't get it. I would guess that people are giving it 10 stars because that's what they want. A story where the main character, who didn't even have powers at the start, gets them by pure luck and wins the battle, and then wins this
I
every single
think I
battle.
know what it is, but I don't remember if it was answered.
Fuck.
I don't. Can I ask you if we've answered this for a question yet?
No.
Shit, I just don't remember if we've said it. I'm assuming like there's not repeat.
That was my
Right.
second
There's not-
fucking
there's
guess, and I
not
didn't
repeats.
hear that one goddamn part.
Is it My Hero?
Fuck.
It is in fact My Hero.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
It was My Hero. That was my second guess, and I should have fucking won that.
All right, Matt, it is your turn.
Mhm.
See where the dice will take us today.
I'm down by 1, right?
Mhm.
Or am I down by 2?
Down by 1.
Good tie it up here.
Yep.
This show is cringe, and I hate my friend who recommended it now.
Naturally. This
You're-
was me. This was me in the ReZero like comments. Like I was like, I fucking hate this guy. He told me to watch it.
Here are some quotes from the main character. I'm gonna have to skip these quotes because otherwise I think you're gonna get it immediately. But I'll skip. It says the main character said this when this made me think of my friend Michael, who recommended me this show. He likes Blue Lock and other garbage anime like that. What's Michael catching a stray in the review? Hold on, it keeps going. The shows up. The main character said, I had 2 Popeye sandwiches and a mac and cheese and 1 biscuit before watching, and all I could see of it when I threw up after listening to that. This is by far the worst anime I've ever watched. I'm gonna have nightmares about it. If you have a Michael type of friend in your life, I recommend you drop him so your life can improve and you can pursue happiness. If you don't, I hope you live a long, happy life without this show.
Here's the thing: there's virtually nothing to go off of in this.
Absolutely
thing.
negative. It's so funny.
The only lead I have is Blue Lock was
Blue
mentioned,
Lock
which
was
made me think
mentioned.
of sports. So I'm gonna say, is it Haikyuu?
It is not Haikyuu.
Okay.
Okay.
Good fucking luck. Like
I was gonna say that was the only that was my
I don't
answer.
know
too.
why is he so. What did Michael do?
Like I feel like there's
It's
nothing
Michael.
to go off of there.
Oh yeah, no, there's negative things.
You know, here's the thing. I say if Andrew gets it wrong, just like read a quote or
Okay.
something.
Here,
Because like
have
I
an
feel
idea.
like
Since we all know it's not Haikyuu now, if you guys want me to, I can just go through and I can read it just word for word. And then we can run it back if y'all want. It's up to you,
Yeah,
Andrew.
do that.
yeah, it's up to him because then it would go back to me.
Because it would go back to him. So if you want to try first before you do that.
I wanna think. Okay, I wanna think before,
Also,
and if
you
I
still
can't
have
come up with
lifelines,
anything good,
so
we do still have lifelines. If I can't think of anything good, then I'll let it go back to Matt. I'm going down the shows again, one by one.
Oh. I didn't know
Classic Michael.
Classic
that. Makes me
Michael.
think of my friend Michael, who recommended me this show.
I fucking despise my friend Michael.
Classic
Yeah, I wrote
Michael.
this in the ReZero account.
This makes me think of my friend Drew.
Yeah. No, I put Twink.
This makes me think of the old Twinkmeister. I hate that guy. He likes Haikyuu and other garbage shows like that.
He's great.
He doesn't like IQ as much as I do, so I wouldn't say that. Fly High came out in the car today, and it was crazy. I was just like so hyped.
I got nothing.
All right.
We'll wrap it around to Matt.
I'll just read the quotes because I won't give the other part because I think this does give it away. But I'll read the whole thing again. I'll give you the quotes.
Don't read the obvious quote. Like if there's a couple of like less obvious.
I thought he said he was gonna read them all, right?
I'm gonna read the quotes, but I do think it might give it away a little bit. But I'm getting rid of some of it because some of this part.
Yeah, like they say a name, obviously.
Okay, I think this will probably be good. I think it's probably a better way to read it anyway. This show is cringe, and I hate my friend who recommended it now. Here are some quotes from the main character. The main character said, "I'm not fighting you to save him. I just hate it when weaklings think that they are alphas." This made me think of my friend Michael, who recommended me this show. He likes Blue Lock and other garbage animes like this. The main character said, "You guys are nothing but the bully club. I had 2 Popeye sandwiches, a mac and cheese, and a biscuit before watching, and I could see all of it when I threw up after listening to that. This is by far the worst thing I've ever watched. I'm gonna have nightmares about the bully club quote. If you have a Michael type friend in your life, I recommend you drop him so your life can improve and you can pursue happiness. If you don't, I hope you live a long, happy life without this show.
I feel like Andrew knows what it is.
I do.
There's two that I
Might
think
be
it
a
could
good
be.
time to use a lifeline.
Yeah, but I'm down one, right?
But you could be down two if you don't.
Yeah, but also he has 2 lifelines,
Mm-hmm.
which means I would have to
Brandon.
pass.
Yeah, but you've
Okay,
got 2 turns.
then I have 3. Then I also have 3.
Yeah, we both
We
have
have
three.
we have the same amount of lifelines.
Yes.
Is the point?
You
And
have the
I would
phone
have
of
to
Brandon
pass
lifeline.
him. I have, and I
you've
used
got
the
2 turns.
length one. No, this is my question.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, so maybe you do want to be a little more
So,
careful.
shit.
Jacob, I have a question. Can we use multiple lifelines for one question?
No, 1 per question.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to use a lifeline because, like, there's 2 that it could be. I think. What do I? I have what do I have? Genre and letter.
And phone of Brandon.
I did the line.
And phone of Brandon.
I love Brandon.
I'm
Don't
using
take me wrong.
I'm using phone of Brandon. I'm using phone of Brandon.
Use phone of Brandon on the next one then.
I'll call him up,
Yeah.
I guess.
Wait, who do I get to phone?
Also Brandon.
Squid's not real.
Brandon, you also get to phone Brandon.
I don't think Brandon's gonna know it. No, let's just call Brandon for the same question. No, I'm not. Brandon. I'll use the letter.
Okay. The first letter of this anime is W.
Is it Windbreaker?
It is, in fact, Windbreaker.
See, here's what I thought. I thought Windbreaker was one of them, but I also thought that's something Luffy would say to Arlong. In that little skunk, and that's something Luffy would say.
Yeah.
I also don't remember anything that happened in Windbreaker, so like I was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, there's clubs in Windbreaker, right? You know, that's kind of where I was
remember,
at.
I very distinctly remember the alpha quote because I thought it was so cringe.
I thought that was solo leveling from the alpha quote. Because I feel like that's something he would say to like some schmuck. I don't know.
Yeah. Jacob, how many questions do we have left?
Not a lot. I'll let you know whenever I find one that we haven't used.
You phoning Brandon?
Not a difficult one.
Here we go. The story is stretched out too long and too many filler episodes. The animation is very weird too. I wish another studio like Mappa or UFO Table did the animation. The characters seem to be interesting though, but the MC acts too much like Goku.
I mean, I guess.
Should I phone a Brandon on this one? I don't know what I should.
I think you should. I think Brandon would know, to be honest. Mr. Black would know.
Mr. Black would
will
know.
not know that I'm calling him. He will just be like,
no,
yeah,
but that's so much funnier. It's so much funnier, though.
I'll just. Hey, Brandon, I got a question for you.
You have to start with saying, "Hey, Brandon, you're on camera or like you're on recording right now."
You're on recording right now. Okay, I won't phone Brandon for this question. Is it?
Brandon.
I'll do it. I'll do it soon. Don't worry. Is it the old piece? Is it the old one?
Chainsaw
piece?
Man. Fuck
it is
you.
the old piece. Anime character, he does not act like Goku.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that, but like, you know.
I don't know what. I don't know.
All right, here you go. Literally one of the most boring anime I have ever seen. Insert anime didn't quite hit the mark for me. Despite, I found it lacking in excitement and originality. The storyline felt predictable, and the characters failed to capture my heart. Well, this character did, but the rest of the characters are very basic, and I didn't like the comedy in the anime. It's so corny. I can appreciate the effort they put into portraying this, and the animation was perfect. But I really felt kind of sleepy watching this anime. Overall, Blank didn't manage to engage me in the way I had hoped.
Yeah, I think I know.
There's two that I'm thinking of. You read it one more time.
Sure. Literally one of the most boring anime I've ever seen. This anime didn't quite hit the mark for me. Despite, I found it lacking in excitement and originality. The storyline felt predictable, and the characters failed to capture my interest. Well, one of them did, but the rest of the characters are very basic, and I didn't like the comedy in the anime. It's so corny. I can appreciate the effort they put into portraying this, and the animation was perfect, actually, but I don't know. I really felt sleepy watching this anime. Overall, this anime didn't manage to engage me in a way that I had hoped.
There's a show that I think this could be that has that corny humor stuff, but then there's the one that has the animation and the boring characters. So I think I'm gonna say Solo Leveling.
That is incorrect.
I assumed. I think I know what it is then.
Were you gonna say Haikyuu? Because I will say Haikyuu.
That is what I was
It
going
is
to say.
IQ, yes.
Yeah,
By the way, the character that captured their heart was Oikawa.
that tends to be how things go.
I don't.
People love Oikawa.
People really like Oikawa for some reason. That's funny.
All right, here we go. Something is brain damaged about this sadly lacking anime that substitutes violence for conflict resolution and wants us to think their violence is something other than abuse that he should bring to a halt immediately. But rather than treat her behavior as pathological, we're given no hint that we're supposed to see it anything other than something he's supposed to tolerate, when of course he should get rid of her immediately. Imagine if the sexes were reversed. We'd be rightly appalled and revolted.
Yeah, I know what this is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the old Chainsaw Man?
It is not Chainsaw Man.
Really?
Really.
Really?
Really.
Really? Wow.
Really.
Wow.
I'm floored.
I am also floored.
I love how all of them are just Chainsaw Man.
I was gonna say all of these are all very good descriptions. of
Chainsaw Man's
Chainsaw
not
Man.
even on. Chainsaw Man's not even on.
It's just not an option.
Yeah, it's not.
Could you
not an
repeat that
option.
one?
Sure. Something is brain damage about this sadly lacking anime that substitutes violence for conflict resolution and wants us to think her violence is something other than abuse that he should bring to a halt immediately. But rather than treat her behavior as pathological, we're given no hint that we're supposed to see it as anything other than something he's supposed to tolerate, when of course he should get rid of her immediately. Imagine if the sexes were reversed, we'd be rightly appalled and revolted.
I feel like this is a show I haven't seen.
I don't think you have, now that I think about it.
Fantastic.
I forgot. Well, when I was compiling the list, I kind of didn't think too hard about it.
Okay, because I'm thinking through the shows I've seen, and I'm like, Chainsaw Man's the only one that fits this bill.
I don't think I've seen this show.
I think you have. It's not a very good review for it.
I mean,
Can I
clearly.
So Jacob, you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Can I get like a list of these? Because I don't think I'm ever gonna get those.
Okay. Let me.
Like, cause I have
Throw in the old lock chat.
yeah. So like, because this is this is. I mean,
it's
yeah,
you.
it's fine.
You're up.
Yeah, it was your
I just
question,
wanna look
right?
through the show. It was my question. I got it wrong.
Yeah.
It should have been Chainsaw Man, but
Hold on. I'm gonna have to type all of this out. I don't have the list
Don't you have,
anywhere.
like,
no, okay, you don't.
No, I just went to my list and then I have the list here, but it's with all the reviews as well, and so I'd have to go in and just
Yeah. You don't have the scrank anymore?
I'm seeing if you've ever posted it in like the old.
No, I mean
I was
like
gonna say,
it's
I
not
think
main
No, I
characters
did.
list. Since you haven't seen the show, I can give you a free lifeline. I think that's slightly fair.
What lifeline?
I don't know. Take your pick.
I don't know if any of them would help me. Because you said I'm not phoning anyone because you said it's a bad description, so they probably. What are the odds that they've seen it? I won't know how many seasons it is because I haven't seen it. Genre probably wouldn't help. So I guess I'll do the letter.
H.
There's one that I think of, and I think Andrew may have figured it out. But like,
That's not. No, it's not. I didn't figure it out because that if it's what I'm thinking of, that's the dumbest fucking thing. That is
The only
that is not
show-
related to the show whatsoever.
the
It is
only
not
show I
related to
can,
the show
the
whatsoever.
only H show that I could think of that you two have seen is Horimiya.
It is Horimiya.
Yeah, and that's not. That's the most ludicrous. Why? How and why?
Yeah, I would have never gotten that.
No, it's literally no. You would have. I would have never gotten that. I would have never gotten that unless he said H. Unless he said H, I would have never gotten that because that's the most.
I
That's the
didn't
most
write the
ridiculous.
reviews.
Thing.
I don't know, man. They're just bad.
No, you
reviews.
didn't. That's
That's how the cast gets.
and I'm not blaming you.
Yeah.
It's just that's the most ridiculous
Whose
thing
turn
I've
is
ever
it?
heard in my entire life.
Is it your
Mine.
turn?
Or no, it's
No,
Matt.
it's
No,
mine,
it's
it's
Matt's.
mine.
It's Matt's.
That
That
was
was
a
a
steal.
steal. That was a steal. That was a steal.
Alrighty. We done this one?
That's ridiculous.
Yes, we have.
How much time are we at, Jacob?
We are at
4 hours.
an hour and a half.
Shit.
No, we're getting there. Don't worry. We'll get to the end. It's okay. I didn't realize how
Talked
long
about
this
whatever
segment would
for
take.
it.
We might have talked about accents for a little bit too long.
Maybe.
Andrew Zero.
Okay, here we go. Totally trashy anime. Even kids don't want to watch this goofy show. New season is pretty ridiculous. I don't see why people compared this to the top 20 of all anime of all time. It isn't even top 500. Just good graphics, hilarious episodes like 32 to 34, killings 50 people to save 2. Oh man, I can't stop laughing. What a joke. A 6-year-old girl can do some heavy works. It's
Okay,
so random,
well.
man. Randomly savings, randomly accidents, randomly episodes, wasting my time and money. It's so lame. People who watching this, I don't know what is your intentions. But I guess it's not good intentions. You know what I'm saying. Get a life and don't watch this type of pedo show. God, people these days.
Is it the old Spy Family?
It is the old
was gonna
Spy
say,
Family.
okay. I understand, but I also don't understand because that's just wrong.
That might be it.
No, we have
I think-
2 more.
We have 2 more,
Two
so we have 1 more for each of us.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, so what happens? Wait, so I have a question.
Hmm.
So, playing devil's advocate here. So, Andrew essentially won because let's say both of us get our questions right.
Mhm.
He's got more things than me,
Yes.
more lifelines. So, what were to happen if we both got our questions? You're gonna call Brandon here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what happens if we both get it right? So he's calling Brandon. He says he's calling Brandon. So what's gonna happen if we both get it right?
I'll find one more bad review for one of the anime and have y'all both give a guess. And whoever gets it right
Okay.
wins.
We'll just keep going until one of us gets it right and one of us gets it wrong. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So that's yeah.
Here you go. Whose turn is it?
Hannah sec.
Okay.
Wait, you used 2 of your things? Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
The title says it all. It is an extremely bland and generic fantasy that follows the same tropes of that of an isekai anime. The anime manga don't bring anything new to the genre, and there's nothing in this that hasn't already been done by other media in the same genre. The reason for its hype is that it's extremely simple to watch, where you can just turn off your brain and enjoy the fancy visuals without giving any real thought to the story. There's little to no character development, and the story falls off after the first 50 chapters. While speaking of character development, we need to clarify that getting stronger does not equate to character development. The only way we see the main character getting stronger, the only way we see the main character developing is by getting stronger. There's no real motivation and no real purpose for him fighting. His only real character development comes in the first 60 chapters, and it just focuses on getting stronger. Like I said, it's a piece of media one can enjoy if they just turn off their brain, don't focus on anything. Extremely mid and overhyped, boring world building, extremely basic character development, but excellent art style.
I think I know what it is.
I know what it is too, but I mean,
You gotta call
here's the
Brandon.
Jacob. If I call Brandon, can I still answer? Like if Brandon, if I don't want Brandon to answer for me. I just want Brandon
he
to
won't
get
answer for you. Don't worry.
He's just a consultant. He's just a consultant.
Okay, yeah,
see.
exactly.
Let me
Okay,
see if
so
he's
I'm
playing
gonna
Mlord.
phone Brandon here. I'm gonna
I
phone
think,
Brandon
I think
here.
we might be thinking of the same thing.
We totally are.
I'll give him a ring.
I already know what I'm gonna guess. So
I got a lab report.
I got an uncle named Harry.
Herbert Hoover.
Yeah. Squid, get out of here.
That one
Squid.
guy sucks at
Brandon,
driving.
hey,
That one.
you're on
That
camera right
one
now. We're
guy's-
doing an HCast episode.
Oh, we can't hear him.
Don't worry, I don't think
hear
they
him.
could hear you anyways. Hold on, let me.
He can't hear us,
Put the,
right?
put the old phone
he
up
also
to the mic.
can't. You also can't hear them. Anyway, we're doing a game show where I read bad reviews to them, and they have to guess what the anime is, and they petitioned for one of the lifelines to be Phone a Brandon, where I just like read you the thing, and then you tell me what you think it is.
I don't want to let him down.
No, don't worry, it's okay. It's okay. You'll be fine.
Brandon, tell him I already know the answer to the question. I just wanted to phone a Brandon to be funny.
If it helps, he already knows the answer to the question. He just wanted to phone you.
Oh, okay. That does help a lot.
Okay. Here, I'll read you the review now though. The title says it all. It's extremely bland, generic fantasy that follows the same tropes that of an isekai anime. The anime and manga don't bring anything new to the genre, and there's nothing in this that hasn't been done by other media of the same genre. The reason for its hype is it's extremely simple to watch, where you can just turn off your brain and enjoy the fancy visuals without giving any real thought to the story. There's no character development. The only character development we see is him getting stronger. Like I said, it's a piece of media that can be enjoyed if you just turn your brain off and don't focus. Extremely mid and overhyped. Boring world building, basically extremely basic character development, but excellent art style.
I got reincarnated as a slime.
Thank you, Brandon. You've been most help today.
Thank you, Brandon. Tell him I said thanks.
I'll tell you later. I can't tell you now because they're going to have to answer the question first.
Okay.
All right, I'll text you the answer. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Classic brand.
All right.
What a good guy.
I really appreciate his input. Unfortunately, I don't think a single one of us has seen. That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah, I don't know where he got
so I
that
don't
from.
think it would believe to be on the list. However, my answer is solo leveling.
it is solo leveling.
Okay.
All right.
See, I was gonna say Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man. What?
I'm dead serious.
Dead serious? Really?
Dead serious.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
When the hell did Denji get stronger?
Well, I know what happens in the manga, and he was like 50, 60
yeah, you know
chapters, and he's like, yeah.
All right, here you go. Matt, are you ready for your final round?
Yeah, and I have to get this right.
I regret ever wasting my time on this. I don't see why it has such high ratings and popularity. There's no plot. None at all. It's all complete nonsense. People don't act like this. If it's some kind of weird artistic metaphor, I don't get it. The plot aside, the art's fine. The fighting scenes are extremely boring, but after the first time, because they're completely repetitive. Imagine if Luffy never fought with anything but a single attack through One Piece. Never got a power-up. Just a single type of attack over and over and over again. The MC's about to lose, he gets back up for no reason at all. And sometimes, still wins. They don't justify it half the time. The level of fan service is insane. I'd say there's far more fan service than plot. Fighting scene? In skimpy clothing. Flashback for a character? Naked. Oh, and no, it's not only the women. It's only the women, not the men. No, the men are always in a suit. Writing is horrible. Writing horrible things happening to people over and over again, trying to topic, is not art. As much as some might claim.
I'm so glad you got it, man.
It's not an expression of humanity is messy. It's just angst and gore for the sake of angst and gore and fan service and fighting scenes to cater to male teenagers without any depth whatsoever. This is just a bunch of violence, smut, and nonsense packed together. So overall, a brainless mess of fan service with no real plot, no real characters, and the fighting scenes, while cool at first, get real boring once you see them once.
Any day
Since
now.
they repeat constantly. The mysteries are not worth the read.
Is it Chainsaw Man?
Would you like to know the vote of Brandon? Huh?
I would hate to call him up and have to read him all of that.
That was perfect. No, I was so glad that was the last one.
That was the best one. Oh, that was the.
I knew it immediately too. Like it was like,
Oh, absolutely.
It was so long. You kept going. You kept going the whole time. Andrew was like pointed to me. It's like, you still had another paragraph.
Well, I knew once I heard the solo leveling one, I was like, oh, Chainsaw Man's last. Holy
It's
shit.
gotta be the Sawman.
All right. Well then.
Yeah, what if you just did put Chainsaw Man on here? You just did like
Yeah.
not Chainsaw Man.
Not Chainsaw Man.
No, that's Shikanoka Noka Noka Koish Tantan.
That was
It's a
Naruto
great-
again.
Yeah. It was Sword Art Online.
No, sorry, that was Violet Evergarden. That's her name.
Yeah. What?
All right, I'm pulling up a last.
Okay.
Oh, we tied? Oh, we tied?
Yeah.
Tied. Yeah,
Oh,
we knew
yeah,
that. I
wow.
said this.
I thought I was one ahead. I thought I was two ahead, and then you got that, and I was one.
No, you would have won if you didn't phone Brandon.
That's true.
That's
true.
why I said that.
But
We were like, phone Brandon.
it's no. We got a final
All
game
right.
show this.
So
right?
both of y'all are gonna
I have to
text
vote
me
Brandon.
your answers.
Okay, sure.
And it's just so first to get one right. So first of us to get it right, while the other gets it wrong. So
Yeah.
if we both get it wrong, we go again. If we both get it right, we go again.
Basically, a bunch of stolen ideas from Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, etc. That put together and call it a new show. What a waste of animation effort on such an unoriginal story.
That's it.
That's it. And are these? Can we? I guess that's the question. I mean, it helps both of us. Are these all shows we've both seen?
Yes, this is now just. I went back to the list and I just keep going and I find a new one from a show we already did.
Oh, so this is a show. So we're back to
We already said.
Sonic 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you reread it then?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you read
Basically, a bunch of stolen ideas from Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, etc. that put together and call it a new show. What a waste of animation effort on such an unoriginal story.
I sent mine. You wouldn't know an unoriginal story if it hit you in the face with
Big fat schlingus.
All right. So, seems we
we
only
have a
had to
winner?
do one round of this. Both of you put in a different answer.
Totally won.
Matt, you put My Hero. Andrew, you put Jujutsu Kaisen. Well
I had
done,
no
Andrew.
fucking idea.
Well done, Andrew.
What?
You've won.
Yeah.
It is, in fact,
I
Jujutsu
have?
Kaisen.
Wow.
Wasn't even on my radar. Let me tell you.
Well, I was thinking. I was thinking animation, and a waste of animation, and that's what led me to JJK.
I guess yeah. My Hero's not good animation till like now. Like, the first couple of seasons, like all right.
There we go.
Hooray!
And that was our game show. Just an hour 40 cast. Your typical hour 40 cast.
Naturally. I dedicate my win to Brandon. He helped me.
He
throughout
helped
the
out.
entire
Yeah.
time.
He
Yeah,
was so sad that he didn't get it right. He
Uh-uh.
I texted him. I was like, it was solo leveling. He's like, but you said isekai. I was like, yeah, it said it was like an isekai because you know he likes solo leveling. He's like, well, that tricked me. I'm like, that's how they get you, man.
That's the point.
That's how they get you. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for watching this episode of the AHcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell us below what's the worst review you've seen for an anime. And as always, my name's been Gold, and I'll catch you in the next one.